welcome to Time with Dr. Harris. We are so glad you chose to come be a part of us. You know, I'm doing a series on relationships, and now I want you to meet these awesome young people who's going to their story. And I'm so excited they're here. I just love them so. And so, this is Robert and Kayla Boston. Welcome, Robert and Kayla Boston. And what we've been dealing with is relationships, and whether when you're single, when you're courting, and when you're married. And so I know that you guys have had a long journey together, been together for many years. I would like for you to share with us your journey.
Yes. So we've been together a total coming up on 9 years this year.
Yes.
We met in college right off the bat, the second year or the second week actually, and we've been inseparable ever since. We started, going through college. We got married in 2018 and had our first baby here in 2021, which she's going to make a part of the scene, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've had our ups and downs, and we've really grown together and also individually, and I think that's what's so important with our relationship is being able to grow together, and that's been something that's very important to us, to continue growing and evolving with each other and with our faith in God too.
What was your initial attraction? You said you've been together ever since you met.
Yeah.
Yes. So we actually met through each other's roommates in college. And then from, meeting each other roommates, becoming friends with each other, obviously becoming friends with each other's roommates and everything. And then that's also where we met Micah. And we became friends with Micah, and then the three of us became friends, and then that eventually led to me and Kayla becoming friends, and then closer to friends, and then so on and so forth. Initially it has started out with us becoming friendly to each other, talking to each other, and then we started dating and everything. Had dated for a few years.
He liked my big lion hair.
I did. That was the first thing that attracted. Yes.
Attraction.
So yes, the attraction. Yes. So so when we were about 18, about 18, right? It was the summer of 2013. It was when I was first moving up away from Cincinnati, where I'm from, to Ashland to play sports, which is also where I met Micah. This is when I had met Kayla for the first time through one of my other football buddies. While playing at Ashland, and the first thing that I remember about her, like she said, was her big flowing hair, because obviously it was summertime, it was August, and her hair was out big and large, just humid outside. So that was the first thing that attracted me to her, and from then it was almost love at first sight. I always wanted to get to know this girl. Who was this girl, that I hadn't seen before? I've never been around her, and, I'm meeting people for the news for the first time, but I really want to get to know this girl. So, it eventually happened. And then, later along the road, I want to say 5 years after we were dating, right? 5 years after we were dating.
Before you go on, okay, Kayla, about him, when you met him.
So when I first met him, he said, he came into the room because I was hanging out with his roommate at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want anything to do with her." And I was like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, he was like always coming around, and I just noticed he had such a big spirit about him. He was always smiling, he was confident, and yet he really wanted to take the time to get to know who I was. And he really, every time I always went around the campus, he was always in my vicinity, and I was like, he keeps following me around, So maybe I should, get give him a chance to try. And so, yeah, so he was really somebody who was very genuine and sweet, and he still is to this day. I think he's even grown more, so he's always been so considerate of me and my feelings and always making me feel special. And so even back in the OG days, the original days, he always made me feel safe.
Okay, so you always felt safe with him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, that piece was really important. Even though he's grown, he always had that kind of attitude and spirit about him where you felt safe. So, and you're feeling safe when you made a decision that you wanted to spend time with him. And you guys went through college. And what made you guys come to a point where knowing I really want to be with this person the rest of my life?
You know, I've always been a person who just has been so confident in himself and the things that I believe, but then it took a while to also get to know Kayla and to get to know her family and get to know the other side of, you know, what other people could see, believe in you, all of that other different things. So, you know, I already had in a mindset, because I had been in a long-term relationship or two or whatever, that in order to get to that point, you have to really start to know somebody. You have to meet their family. You have to be around them more. You have to spend more than that, you know, first couple months, a year, maybe even 2 years, however long, but you have to go to a point that you meet their grandmothers, their aunts, their uncles, their siblings, their immediate family, all of their immediate family, of course, for sure. Just because that is part of who they are and who they've come to be before you met them. So, you know, when you enter into marriage, that is who is going to be a part of your life now. That is now your new family and everything. So I always thought that was most important. So it didn't come to a point until we had been married for 5 years that I felt like, all right, this is appropriate. Like I've known her, I've loved her, you know, I've been around her family. She's met most of my family, if not all of it. And, you know, that was when I finally felt it was appropriate to then go further than just the boyfriend, girlfriend, now to fiance, and then husband and wife, you know, because, you know, I had gone through all of those steps, you know, like it wasn't rushed. We took our time with being with each other and being at that stage of life and then continuing on and everything. So I feel like, you know, for me, at least, like that time frame was right because it took that long to meet family and to learn each other more and everything. And then finally we went to New York with Kayla's father. I want to say it was December of 2015.
Yeah, so he asked
I asked her. It was literally
2 years later after he asked my dad
permission. Yeah. It was not too long after I asked her dad permission that we decided to, you know, go along with it, because, you know, I asked her dad permission and then I asked, you know, her mom permission as well, because just of the family situation and everything. But, you know, I also think that was always important, because these are the two people who've had this child. So either way, you know, it was going to be me asking mom and dad, hey, can I marry your daughter? Because that's the most important thing is making sure that I have the approval of not only this family but the two people who brought her into this world. So
I appreciate that you gave us the story. What did you see the difference between when you were dating, courting, and marriage? And I'm gonna let Kayla.
Yeah. She can answer that part. Yeah,
I think dating. When it came to dating, I think it comes back to growing up. We really grew up together from 18 to 23. It's a very delicate age. you're learning how to be on your own. You're learning how to manage money. You're learning how to have difficult, discussions. And I think when it came to dating, it was still, we were learning each other and how we worked together as a unit, but also individually. So I would say when we came to dating, it was still fun. We took our time. We were genuine with each other and what our goals and aspirations were, and we were open with communication. And we were just talking about the other day how when we were 18, 19, and we're like, oh, we're going to have a house and we're going to have a kid and we're going to have these good jobs, and here we are sitting in that blessing that we spoke out on all those years ago. And so I think when it came to dating, we were both very intentional about what we wanted together. And I think when we moving into marriage and having that foundation that you have provided us with and set us up with, really helped us be so happy and so content as we are right now in marriage. I think we have really set up a communication and always touching on our love languages. Like the other day, Robert cleaned the whole kitchen for me and he's like, acts of service for you, Kayla. And I'm like, yes, acts of service. Like, so we're always making sure that we're feeding into, each other's love languages and just really being intentional with our time, especially now that we have our little person here that demands more.
Gets all the time. All the time.
Yeah, but I truly feel, we had some bumpy years in the beginning, and I think once we moved into marriage and being able to have that time and our commitment to coming to your counseling sessions really has set us up for such success in marriage.
It was the connections.
Yeah.
That how we try to extend to people to get them to, because I was and I don't know if you remember, or if I was not ever the biggest advocate, definitely for sure, for going to something like counseling or marriage counseling, any of that stuff. But then as I went through it, it changed how I thought about it. It changed how I felt about Kayla and about myself, because I was able to talk certain things out and get them out, get them out, just getting certain feelings, thoughts, prayers, all of that stuff out in the open that I have in myself. It helped build, what I have now. So, I was always grateful for that. And now, extending that to other people, like, it is the best thing for you to do, because it'll help you not only figure out yourself and your significant other, it'll help you, lead a better life, because it was just what it did for us,
Well, one of the things I remember that you guys, with your young selves, came with a determination. You already came with that we want to have a successful marriage, and we wanted to learn all we wanted to learn. And that's what was helpful, that you guys came with that and commitment. And I was so proud of you guys, because you're young. And even though you were young, you made a decision and you followed that decision. And I am really so proud of you. When you were one of the things that skipped just a little bit in the courtship, in the dating, when you guys was in college, you were still even younger and you were getting to know each other. But when you became exclusive and started courting, what was the difference that you see? And let me ask Kayla that, as a woman, what did you see as a difference when he was young? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was proud. I felt like he was like the most handsome man on campus. He was very social and somebody who wanted to go out and do things, and, making sure that I was being shown off and being respectful of the needs that I had, especially in college. Everybody's new to each other and new experiences, and being able to date freely, coming from a high school where, you had to ask permission from parents. And so, he was very respectful of my boundaries and, my wishes for how I wanted to grow and in college. And I think, thinking back on college, we had such a good time together. Everything we did together. We hung out with friends together. We watched movies together. We, went to seminars together. I mean, it was really something that we really were inseparable ever since. And so I think it was just our connection was just so strong from right off the bat. I truly believe that it was God's purpose for us to meet so fast.
Yeah, and it's funny that she says that too, because even even the friends that we have now, including some of the ones that I had talked about just previously, they were also like that in college. They were just like, yo, like, where did Kayla and Robert go? They just disappeared on us because, we had always been like that. And the courtship between us even got stronger as we got, engaged and to marry, because now it's a whole different, outlook. That's your life partner now. That is, who you are supposed to be now, and inseparable with till the end of time. So it's way different than just a boyfriend or girlfriend.
I think it comes back to the friendship,
in a sense of duty and everything too. But yeah, but it all started with that. It started with that simple friendship that most people sometimes don't have, even when they decide to go into that courtship. You weren't even civil with each other before, but then you try to go into a whole courtship where you could have never even existed just as a friend and friend next to each other,
That's
so like
good.
that was what made the big difference for sure too.
Yeah.
So you talk about friendship, which I love, and that you was inseparable. What is it about? I'm ask Caleb, and you tell. Okay, what is the personality? What are the things about you like?
I'm sorry, it kind of cut out a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. What are some of the things? What are the things about Robert that you like?
I love his joyful spirit, his joyfulness. He always makes sure every day that he has a smile on his face, and that means a lot to me, especially no matter how I'm feeling. I love he's very considerate. He's always doing things to make sure that I'm taken care of, or just very thoughtful about things. Just the little things of taking out the trash and I don't notice it, or cleaning the kitchen, or bringing something home from the store that he knows that I'll like. Just little surprises and things like that make me feel very special and very loved. And I really try to make sure that when I do notice those things, even though he may not say it out loud, I always make sure that I tell him how appreciative that I am, focusing on the good that he is.
And I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
So focusing on the good things that he is, that's what I love.
Okay.
And I think that, I love Kayla's intuitiveness and how sharp she is, and how she keeps me on top of that game. I love how she encourages me, especially since we've been married, for sure too. It feels like I'm more open and willing to be able to do these things for her, because I feel like she has my back no matter what. I feel like Kayla is my backbone now. It can be that way for sure, when we were dating and stuff like that. But when we reached a whole new level, I felt that really deep in my spirit, like this person has my, like she has my back completely 100%. And like, that's the thing the most that I feel like I've come to love about Kayla, because I know I can make a mistake at any point, and Kayla will help me rise out of that to be the better person that I can be, to then take care of my family the way I should. And I love that. I love that about Kayla.
Well, one of the things that Pastor reminded me of, that when I tell you how proud I am of you, that you guys with your young selves drove almost 3 hours to come to counseling. Now, if that's not serious and intentional, what is that? Some people go down the street and around the corner, you guys drove. Touch my heart. You guys have made a decision to marry that you were scared. Was any part that's made you nervous? Maybe not use the word scared, but made you like, ooh, this is pretty serious?
No.
Not really. I mean, I think the scariest part was
Was
really just
the
the
wedding.
wedding.
The
Yeah,
wedding was
definitely
absolutely
the wedding.
beautiful. It was beautiful. And my goodness,
Yeah,
Robert, you were shining like a king. You know,
thank
Yeah.
you.
and when you made your vows to Kayla, like, oof, this it was it was a powerful, powerful wedding. But one of the things that you noticed, and I want you to expound on it, was when you guys really realized what the sacredness of what you were doing
Mm-hmm.
unto God. Tell me how you felt, because I think the wedding showed that.
I thought this is it. That was my initial thought. This is it. Like, like there's no other words or things that I can express that would go even deeper into that. Like this is it. Like that was my, when I made my vows, when I shared that kiss, uh when Pastor Harris bless the initial start of my wonderful family that I have now. Like that was the initial thought. This is it. Like this is where it begins.
I don't think we knew the extent. I feel like we really have come into a deeper relationship with God since we've been married. Like, I feel like since we said I do, it was like God's like, I got you. Like, you guys are mine, and I'm going to show you all that I can do for your marriage. And I think for us, we've always said that we wanted our marriage to be impactful. We want people who are around us to feel the love that we share, and I definitely feel like it has blessed others. I feel we have people reach out to us all the time asking us, what would you do, and how would you handle it, and I think God has given us together the wisdom of that, the gift of wisdom, really, to share and to be a blessing to others, whether they're courting or dating, engaged, or single. I really feel like our marriage has been blessed by God to give that gift to others.
Enough to that we do have friends and associates, co-workers, and so on and so forth that will go out of their way to ask us, well, what did you guys do?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Like, and that's so important to us, because like it definitely feels like it reflects us, even though like, of course, every couple, every marriage, they have their ups and downs, their problems, or things that they need to work out and figure with each other. It also shows us that like people are watching what we're doing and how it has just simply impacted other people's lives. Like that we are those people that they feel like they can lean on or follow in a way that would produce a beautiful marriage and happiness. So like it's really been nice for that fact too as well.
Yeah.
And you represent the glory of God, and that's what people shine over. I know that Micah would really impressed with your relation, and would love to have one like that. And for you guys to show so many people, that is awesome, and it is the glory of God. And yes, God did put you guys together, and your determination, no matter what, you guys made a decision, and you're walking out your decision. I'm so proud of you. People are coming and going into a relationship. Nothing. People were married for a few years, and then
and then no longer married. And it shows, because because like we see it all the time with
weddings
some of our weddings we've gone to personally.
Wow.
Like people that we've like personally invested in, like we invested, because that's the truth of the matter, that I really did not get until being married, going to other people's weddings. When you go to those weddings, you also are a statement of those people. Like we want you to be together. We want you to succeed as a couple. That is why we're here. We're not here for any other reason but to see you succeed. So you have to think about all the people that were at your wedding, and all the weddings you've been to, and like it just shows. It just shows.
It really does. And I am so excited that you guys continue to stay strong and move forward and grow. And then we got this beautiful child right here, an extension of you. an extension of your love. An
Yes.
extension of your love. How awesome is how, how awesome is that? And so I'm not going to hold you any longer because I know that your beautiful daughter is saying, "Okay, guys,
Pay attention. Pay attention to me.
pay attention." And that's part of your life, and the sensitivity has to take place. But what I would like for you to do before we end is to be able to. I want you to encourage others. What would you like to say to others to encourage them on their journey?
I would say be open, love them through their faults and love them in their successes. And the more that you're open and transparent about your own needs and what you're seeing, even if it's something that isn't good or it's great, I think, being intentional is so important, especially when it comes with your words. And words can do a lot. Words can uplift and words can tear down. And so being very intentional with your time and your words is something that I truly feel is important.
I definitely completely agree with Kayla about the words that you use with your significant others. Words are very powerful, no matter what those words are, whether they be uplifting, demeaning, things like that. Those are things that you should pay attention to, regardless of trying to be in this type of courtship that we're in. And then also listening and understanding. That is something that I've learned since going through this whole process of going through a counseling, being just girlfriend and boyfriend, being husband and wife. Being able to listen and communicate have always been the most important thing among people, and even more important when you enter a courtship. So being able to do that, to do it openly, to feel like you can do it freely with your significant other, that will be the most determining factor in being in a courtship like ours. If you cannot communicate, there's low chance of success, but there's a higher chance of success if you just learn how to communicate with each other.
And remember,
You're married. He still courts me. He still takes me out on dates.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we still date each other. Yeah, we still date each other. We just went on a family date not too long ago to the aquarium for her first time. So yes, it's been lovely. It's been lovely.
Well, I again tell you all know how I feel about you. I'm so proud of you, and I want to keep moving forward, growing, and we will see you guys soon.
Yes,
right?
we will. yes, we will.
I look forward to that. You take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.